Supreme Court has asked the doctors protesting over the rape and murder case of a postgraduate medic at Kolkata's R.G. Kar Medical College to resume work and assured them that no adverse action will be taken. In fact, Supreme Court hearing is underway. We're going to cut across to those visuals coming in.
On behalf of the Kolkata police, full stop. As already noted earlier, the investigation into the circumstances relating to the death of the postgraduate student at R.G. Kar Medical College and Hospital is being conducted by the CBI. Full stop. The Kolkata police is looking into the investigation following the vandalization of the hospital after the protests of the after the protests at the site.
No, it was vandalism, not protest.
After the protests at the site.
Yes, vandalism after the protest. Yes.
Good stuff. Next, from the material which has been produced before the court, it appears that a request for conducting the polygraph test has been submitted. Test of the accused has been submitted to the ACJM Sialda, which is stated to be under process. Full stop. The ACJM Sialda shall pass orders on the application no later than by 5 p.m. on 23 August 2024. Full stop. During the course of the hearing, a number of counsel have appeared on behalf of diverse stakeholders, including the associations representing the resident doctors. Full stop.
And other doctors, my lord.
Resident doctors and other doctors. Full stop. Among others. Full stop. The counsel who have intervened in these proceedings, together with the parties for whom they have intervened, are set out below. ये पूरा statement ले लीजिए. In the previous order of this court, while constituting a national task force, this court had specifically clarified that the NTF should engage with diverse stakeholders. Full stop. Consequently, we hope and trust that the NTF shall hear the representatives of diverse stakeholders, so as to enable it to have inputs from all those who are likely to be affected by the process which has been initiated by this court, and who have a vital stake in maintaining safety and well-being of the doctors and other medical professionals in their workplaces. In their workplaces.
I give it.
We have not said no. We have said all stakeholders. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel have placed some additional suggestions which may be taken into account by the committee, including (1) the installation of distress call systems, the institutionalization of distress call systems, (2) regulation of duty hours, and 3, the lodgement of the constitution of a compensation distress fund. Next, the above suggestions would, it is needless to note, be considered by the National Task Force, whose remit has been couched in broad terms by this court. It is undoubted that the views of diverse stakeholders would be taken into account by the task force before its final recommendations are made. To facilitate the filing of suggestions before the National Task Force, we direct the Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Union Government to open a specific portal on the website of the Ministry, on which associations, or as the case may be, different stakeholders can submit their suggestions for consideration before the committee. Full stop. Mr. Kapil Sibal, Learned Counsel appearing on behalf of the State of West Bengal, the Kolkata Police, submits that this court may clarify, submits that while this court has permitted peaceful protests, the order should not be misconstrued to mean that the authorities are precluded from exercising their regulatory powers in accordance with law. This court has not injuncted the state from exercising such lawful authority, powers as are entrusted in terms of the law. However, we categorically reaffirm that peaceful protests shall not be disturbed, nor shall peaceful protest shall not be disturbed or disrupted, and the state shall not take any action against those who are protesting against the who are peacefully protesting.
That's correct.
Against the incident which took place at Rajikor Medical College.
Just one more
Hold on. Allow me. Whereas your lordships may take my affidavit on record. Yeah, take on record. And Malas, two things. We have filed the status report, but the pen drive is not being taken, which has the videos. Malas, that pen drive may be taken on record.
My lords, with regard
Yeah, in extras.
One thing.
One second.
Should we keep it after a week for the next status report to be filed before us? Because we just like to.
That's fine, Malas. But the pen drive may be taken because they are the annexures, Malas. Yes, deeply obliged.
my lords,
Just give
with
it with
regard,
the pen drive.
Karuna, this is.
Malas, and also, let me finish. Let me-
we'll finish the
protest in Nepal or when you are not.
Where?
Well, let me just finish this. Malas, my timeline, Malas, on the events.
My lord, only one request I have to make.
1 second, hold on, please. Let me make my.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the timelines, Court Master, just take that. So
Lord, the request is
The
this.
timeline,
Lord, request is this, my lord.
In view of the fact that this court has taken measures to ensure the institutionalization of the concerns of the medical professions in terms of the previous order dated so and so, it is only to be expected that the doctors would now return to work. Full stop. Pending the submission of the report to the National Tax Force, all state governments and union territories shall ensure that wherever the need arises in terms of the exigencies of work, the state shall be alert to any apprehended violations of a breach of apprehension violations or breach of safety in medical establishments within that.
my lords, doctors with the
Only
on
one
that.
request.
My lords, with
Time-
backlash, we can be protected against.
timeline of events as they happen, Malas.
My lord, can the timeline at least be shared with us?
We'll give
Give
you.
a copy to the.
Yes, yes.
This can never be secret, my lord.
What, nothing.
This is
Of course not, nothing.
Also give the, or your status report.
Yeah.
Well, that can be shared with the CBS.
Of course, it can be.
Investigation is pending, Malas. How can the status report be shared? That cannot.
But one aspect may be considered.
Yes, his status report is not shared.
States
The CISF has been deployed at.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
एक और वो भी लिख लीजिए. The Solicitor General states that in compliance with the orders of this court, the CISF has been deployed at Rajikor Medical College and Hospital so as to ensure the safety of
Just one small submission.
all other medical professionals.
My lords had said in the morning an additional line, my lords, with regard to protecting our doctors from backlash. They will, of course, rejoin. But my lords, and they have never suspended emergency services. But my lords, there is a concern, already a backlash.
Ms. Nandi, there's no question of only doing emergency services. In a place like, say, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, people take appointments 2 years in advance. If doctors are not available on duty for a day, That means that person loses a slot which was booked 2 years in advance.
Absolutely, my lords. And during lunch, we spoke to our doctors, and this is what has been said, and this is what has absolutely been agreed to. My lords, just the backlash, though, there is the health department and the medical council, we are being told that the action is being taken against our doctors. These are under control of the West Bengal government who are protesting, the protesting doctors. In addition, private and public
Look, what you do
harassment is happening from the
we are taking it
police.
next week.
Yes, my lords.
Once the doctors get back to work,
Yes.
please come back to us and tell us.
Lordships, may I just point out?
Come back, my lords.
Lordship,
Lordships, there is an
Can you
order.
record this in the order?
An apprehension has been expressed on behalf of the doctors, stating that that they are likely to be, or some of them are already being proceeded against.
Not to interrupt, in Delhi, there is FIR registered against us.
Right,
Already.
for the protests which took place in the past. Full stop. We are expecting compliance with the assurance which is now given to the court that the doctors would join normal duties. Full stop. In the meantime, if any adverse action has been taken against any protesting doctor for protests which have been carried out prior to the date of this order, no coercive steps shall be taken on the basis of any action.
Lordships, there is an order
one concern,
of a college in Ujjain where my learned
But
friend
nothing hereafter, because now after this order, everybody must be happy.
Yes, ma'am.
doctors have been told
Threatened for contempt.
not even to go on a token strike. My learned friend wanted.
I just received a,
I'll tell you one thing. Get back to work now. If any doctor is proceeded against for a protest which took place in the past, we have already said no coercive action will be taken.
this is for the future, actually. We are saying that we cannot go for the token
But
protest as well.
no, but future now you must come back to duty.
The problem is that if we
says judges that will stand outside the Supreme Court. No,
Yes,
because
we seek permission from the
justice and medicine can't go on strike.
Yes,
Everybody has to come back.
to the proper measure, it should be done.
Lordship,
And
another
that's for the
aspect.
contempt.
Just
Lordship, another aspect.
one second.
Look, first, establish before us next time that everybody has come back to work. Once we are satisfied that everybody has come back to work, please rest assured we'll make sure that no adverse action is taken. What happened in the past.
The other thing is,
aspect-
your lordships have taken now the status report on record and a separate affidavit on record. Now, Malaz, the only thing is, and this is a request from everybody, that Malaz, normalcy should try and be, Malaz, the people should not take advantage of the situation. Normalcy should return, Malaz, and we are investigating
Stop
in their
vandalism.
hands now.
Normal.
Responsible is in their hands now, the investigation.
Vandalism is stopped,
These
everything will
kind
be
of
normal.
statements,
And therefore, we have requested the doctors to come back to work.
yes, no statements, Malaz, that are being made of the
Going
nature.
on.
Lordship.
The investigation is going on. We are assessing the status reports which are being filed in the course of the investigation. I think now, for the family, there's no question of normalcy because the family is deeply affected.
Correct.
But insofar as the community is concerned, including the community of doctors, we have to return back to our duty.
Absolutely. And the statements and the,
Lord, just
the
one
statements
sentence.
made of the nature that we have placed before you.
I appear for the
Lord, I-
doctors'
Only a
association
minute,
of.
my lord, let me let this note. My lord. Lord, we are not against, my lord, and nobody should make any statement.
That's correct.
We have a statement of a sitting minister of the state of West Bengal saying that, no, not all, there's something very serious, that if anybody talks anything against our leader, his fingers will be chopped off.
Well, then I will read the leader of the opposition statement.
Go into it. Nobody should speak.
Bullets will be fired. Bullets will be fired is what he said.
What we would also expect,
Yes.
please don't politicize. these
Exactly, exactly.
So Bindu has said bullets will be fired.
This, my lord,
Across
therefore
the
I
political spectrum,
Yes.
parties have to realize, don't politicize.
That's
Exactly, my lord,
deeply
exactly.
Lord,
Mr.
the law
Simon
will take its
started by
course.
saying.
Yes.
The law will take its course and we are ensuring that the law does take its course after a quick and efficient
Deeply
investigation.
obliged. Deeply obliged.
Second, we are also concerned about the welfare and safety of doctors for the future. We want to institutionalize this.
That's right.
Yes.
We are not just going to lay down guidelines. We are going to pass an enforceable direction that the recommendations of the task force will be implemented by the state governments, or by hospitals under the authority of the union government.
Lordship, there is
By
a
my
possibility of.
interruption, I prevented a political dialogue by giving this instance.
Mine is not, just 10 seconds. We are grateful. I appear for the Resident Doctors Association of AIMS Delhi. We are grateful, Lordship's taken so much. What has happened is we have taken a peaceful protest. I registered, I get the General Secretary of the association. Now, as it is, emotions are running high. The office bearers are sensible. They're trying their best to convince the large body to get back to work. Now, these kind of FIRs, etc., sets back the process. Just tell them to hold their hands, Delhi police.
Why don't you do this? Ask the doctors at AIMS Delhi also to get back to work. Insofar as the FIR and other things are concerned, we are seized of it. When we are seized of it, nothing is going to happen.
We registered yesterday, my lord. General Secretary accused
Now
in the
tell us
FIR.
one thing. Since when have you been abstaining from duties? Tell us, how long is it back?
From the time the incident, for last 7 days, 7 days.
So the incident took place on the 9th.
Yes, my lord.
Right? Today we are now on the 22nd. Imagine 13 days doctors from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences don't go to work.
Absolutely. As an officer of the court, as lawyers, we've been talking to them after your lordship's taken so much cognizance. We have told them.
Democracy does not mean indiscipline.
I understand, but these FIRs aggravate. Lordship understands the 1,500 doctors, office bearers are sensible. They are trying.
Tell the doctors.
Yes.
Once they get back to work, we will put it to the director. The director is a member of our task force.
Yes, madam.
We put it to the director that all right, and we'll tell the police who are here before us. Nobody wants to pursue the doctors.
Yes, sir.
Right?
But what happens is
they have to get back to work.
let them just hold their hands till the lordship is FIR registered for a peaceful protest, and after the last order, my lord.
But therefore, we have just said that no coercive steps will be taken. That we have already protected the doctors.
Yes.
But
I understand.
now if they don't get back to work.
I understand. I completely will convey the sentiment.
May I just say, your lordships,
One submission, Lordship. One submission.
Well, nobody should say acid bombs will be used, this should be done, bullets will be fired. It's all wrong, my lord.
Well, God knows you have these kind of elements everywhere on all sides of the spectrum.
Exactly.
Now tell us, we don't know who has said that.
Well, we have got the clips.
You have given that to us, but
Yes,
what is the idea?
and the leader of the opposition has done this.
My lord,
Leader of
I
the
am also
opposition.
getting
Varun, I'll go take a shower. Why don't you make me that healthy and tasty meal you promised?
Yes, ma'am.
By the committee. So
yes, we
I must
Clarified
tell you,
that.
Lord, I must tell your lordship, my lord, when
Change, my lords, we are.
Mr. Karan,
One
Mr.
suggestion,
Karan,
your lordship.
my lord, when the secretary, my lord, secretary health,
Yes.
Director General of Health Services came, they also shared this concern with that doctors are exposed to patients and patients' relatives, and their temper is also going high because doctors have their own duties, their own compulsions. The patients would expect something. So there is always a friction kind of a situation. So doctors are kind of more vulnerable. But this has really given a healing touch and an assurance coming from the highest court of the country that the highest court of the nation is looking after their interest.
Well, it is really thank you, Mr. Mr. Dr. Rajiv Joshi, I think, is on the line.
It's Dr. Rajiv Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India, sir.
Yes.
I represent a body of doctors which has got 70 lawyers and 120 members, doctors who have done LLB. So this is the association which has worked research for 5 years about the problems of violence against doctors. And you'll be surprised to know that you have mentioned there are 7 acts of 7 states Actually, there are 21 states have different acts for violence against doctors.
Yes.
So that is first part. Second part is, in spite of having these acts, vandalism and the violence against doctors does not decrease because there is no deterrence. You can understand my statement that out of 1,381 accused people in Maharashtra from 2015 to 2020, only 4 have been convicted and rest have been given go by because of certain laws which help the doctors to help the accused to get away. Now that problem is to be sorted out by the legislation. And what we seek from your honor is the protection of law and not only the protection, physical protection that is being offered by your order, which has been given in detail by on the day before yesterday. So what we would like to inform you is that Minister of Health and Family Welfare had drafted a legislation at 2019, and that was rejected by Home Department that this legislation cannot be done because of certain reasons, whatever the reasons be. After that, when there was epidemic, rather pandemic, the Home Minister assured IMA that they will form a central legislation. But only thing that they did was they amended the Epidemic Diseases Act, and it is now as the epidemic has gone by, the act has the truth of that has gone by. So what I want to tell you is, out of these, I have filed a public interest litigation in Bombay High Court, and in 2020 we filed a public interest litigation. And as you formed a committee of various doctors, the Bombay High Court Chief Justice formed a committee of people from Maharashtra state, and the committee had 3 meetings, and the meetings have been concluded in a statement which says that the Maharashtra 2010 Act has to be amended. Now, I will read the statement of the Honorable Advocate General of Maharashtra State, which is reproduced in the order of the court, and you will realize what is happening about it. We have further, the court says that we have further been informed in the course of hearing today that the appropriate authority of the government has discussions with the petitioner, and a draft of amendments required to be incorporated in the Maharashtra Medicare Services Act has been prepared. However, Mr. Kumbhakoni submits that he has himself pursued the draft and found that the same to be clumsy. He therefore submits that the government ought to be given liberty to considering whether to introduce a new legislation or to amend the act, for which he has time. This order of the court is dated 13th of July 2021, Your Honor. More than 3 years and 1 month has passed after this order. The Maharashtra state government has not done anything about the report of the committee. Therefore, it is necessary to ensure that the recommendations that your National Task Force will give will have to be implemented on the ground. The other statement which I would like to make is, we had filed intervention application in Kerala Private Hospital Association versus State of Kerala. And in this case, on the Kerala High Court,
your Dr. Joshi of PIL is pending before the Bombay High Court, but we are not leaving it at that. Once the report is submitted by the task force, as you rightly said, the next step would be the implementation of the recommendation.
Yeah. Now, please hear me out for 2 more minutes, Your Honor.
You can assist us at that stage on what steps should be taken to implement the report of the task force. We require
that is one part. Second part, I will give you
what's happening in Maharashtra, Kerala, because that's not really going to carry this matter any further.
Please give me 2 more minutes. We filed an application in Kerala High Court, and the Kerala High Court passed an order of golden hour of filing FIR. Your Honor, please give me 1 more minute. The Kerala High Court passed an order of 1 golden hour for filing FIR, which is similar to golden hour doctors use to treat patients of stroke or cardiac arrest, so that the patient doesn't die or come with permanent disability. Now, this FIR was to be filed within 1 hour, and I have filed 5 instances of this order being disrespected by the police. And the Kerala High Court has taken cognizance of our applications, and they have asked the commissioners of police to file affidavits or superintendent of police to file affidavits, after which the violence in Kerala has come down by 75 to 80%. Subsequently, we'll be aware of the brutal murder of Dr. Vandana Das, who was stabbed 11 times in chest in early morning. And on that day, the High Court of Kerala asked the government what they are going to do about the act. And within 7 days,
You can assist us after the report comes in. These are important issues on implementation, which we'll look at later on. Let the report first come, and we'll then see, we'll require your assistance, and we'll be happy to have your assistance on what steps should be taken to
Also has,
including your suggestion on the golden hour for the
Your Honor, Advocate Sneha Kalita has got copy of my submission. Kindly permit her to submit that document with her.
Request, my lord, thereafter there are two holiday. 30th is Friday, 31st is Saturday, and Monday is 2nd.
second week.
On 3rd, my lord. Subject to
Your Lordship, there's only one.
Your Lordship, kindly take the note.
Yes, you can take us a note, Dr. Joshi.
I'm in that.
Your Lordship, there's only one suggestion, Your
There's a
Lordship.
special bench on the 3rd. Can you have it earlier, please? There's a special bench on the 3rd. Or later, either earlier or later.
Mr. Sibal, come on the 3rd. We can adjust the time between both of you. There's no difficulty.
No, but there's a special bench that is listed, the matters are listed for 3 days.
Because then 4th, I don't know how we will be paid.
No, but 5th, my lord, can it be 5th?
We'll take it.
Fifth is all right. Fifth, all right. But that
Lord,
original
another
case
request.
diary be returned to us. The original.
Another request, my lord.
Photocopy of the original.
Lord, another, my lord, the
reply.
status report may be sealed again, my lord, and retain in your lordship.
Status report to be.
Same for us.
CBI state.
And same for, yes, officer.
That's right, that's right.
Your Lordship, there is one suggestion, last suggestion.
Same for us, they've seen this.
Mandatory filing
Seal
of
our-
institutional FIR by the
seal our
institution
status
within
report.
2 hours of the cognizance of the office. Your
For
Lordship.
the last 6
Yes, Your
minutes, you were
Lordship.
making
3
that
minutes.
point.
Yes, Your Lordship. That's
We'll issue directions even on
Your
that.
Honor,
deeply obliged. Your
Well, there's one submission which is important at this stage, my lords, which was, I'll just take 20 seconds. Well, I'm appearing for the National Federation of Resident Doctors of AIIMS and the Federation of All India Medical Association. Well, lords, they have got letters from different resident doctor associations have written letters to them that we are ready to join. However, if some degree of interim protection, some basic degree of interim protection by the time the recommendation of the NTF has been implemented, which includes only the CCTV footage at the entrance and the exit of the hospitals and the hostels, and also a distress call facility. They are requesting for this interim protection, my lords, because they are petrified after this horrific incident which has happened. And
Well, the government has already implemented this. West Bengal has already implemented this.
On behalf.
2 days back, we've implemented it as far as West Bengal is concerned.
panic button.
In fact,
Mr. Solicitor, what we'll do is this, apropos what, the submission which has come, can you ask the ministry to engage with the state health departments in the next week before we take up the matter? And we'll issue some directions on what in the meantime, what are the steps which the state governments can take in the meantime pending the report of the...
What I would suggest, apropos what is in furtherance, Lord, the health secretary can have a meeting with the chief secretary and the director general of police instead of health secretary of the state, and convey that you take care of this apprehension. This apprehension appears to be justifiable apprehension, because law and order would be a state subject. We can only accelerate or we can assist.
During the course of the hearing, counsel representing several resident doctors associations have indicated to the court that the doctors are willing to go back to work without any condition. However, it has been submitted that, don't say without any condition, are willing to go back to work and their duties. However, it has been submitted that the state governments may take a considered view on putting into place at least some safety measures to assuage the concerns of the doctors. Full stop. In order to enable this exercise, full stop, we consider the submission to be, the suggestion to be fair. Full stop. In order to facilitate this, we direct that the Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Union Government shall engage with the Chief Secretaries and the Directors General of Police so as to find, so as to evolve, so as to ensure that the state governments, stroke UTs, put into place certain basic minimum requirements pending the receipt of the report of the task force to assuage the concerns of the doctors over over their safety at the workplace.
Lordship, I am representing my country.
With your lordship,
And Dr. is.
with your lordship permission.
Exercise,
Just.
the exercise of holding the meeting should be completed within a period of 1 week so that the state governments may take remedial and appropriate action, given the exigencies of the situation within a period of 2 weeks thereafter.
In fact, we have
with your-
made that order on 9.
With your lordship permission.
Followed, we'll share it with them. We made that order to protect.
With your lordship permission, I just would like to add that in some of the hospitals and in private hospitals too, there is not adequate security staff. And even the
Private
security
hospitals
staff.
will have to employ.
Your lordship, may I just submit one thing?
I'll tell you one thing.
Please.
When you talk of private hospitals, if you go to a place.
No, your lordship, I'm just.
From nursing homes,
No, your
large
lordship,
hospitals, you have them across the spectrum.
your lordship, I'm
We
just.
start telling the government to provide
Your lordship,
security
I'm
at
just-
every nursing home.
An amount of money they charge.
Your lordship,
should
in some-
employ one or the other.
Your lordship,
Ordinary
even
citizens will have no security.
employ, your lordship, they are not having.
And public hospitals stand on a
Your
different.
lordship, I just submit one thing.
Large falls, the large number of doctors,
No.
sprawling workspaces.
Your lordship, my submission is
Requirement.
not that.
Some help, but
Your lordship,
use the
and
security for
I'm
some
just
important.
your lordship,
because it may.
that in some of the hospital, your lordship, there is not adequate security and security staff which they deploy, they don't make proper verification. They just employ anybody and then.
Ma'am,
that
it will
is-
be very difficult for
aspect-
this
What-
God to
aspect-
monitor such at a minute level.
Therefore, we have a body of expert doctors who will tell us what to do, A, about the public hospitals, about the smaller hospitals.
That's correct.
Please.
Now, obviously, the burden can't be shared for both equally by the state. The state has an obligation insofar as public hospitals are concerned.
Of course.
Insofar as private hospitals are concerned, some alternate mechanisms can be put into place. That's why we had a suggestion of distress call mechanisms, so that you have an immediate access to a local
that.
authority should there be any
already.
problem or which is apprehended. So these are particularly things, therefore, the committee which we have appointed consists of doctors drawn from private hospitals and from the public sector. The idea is therefore to allow them to evolve something which is practicable. Us merely issuing a general direction will not make any, you have to have resources, you have to have
Task
manpower.
force may.
So
can
let's
give
therefore wait
that-
for the report of the task force and then we can see how to best implement it. But we are not going to merely lay it down be content with guidelines. We are then thereafter going to take up the report and then issue certain directions on that basis.
Please, your
My lords, with regard to the SIT notification that I had handed over, we will place documents on record demonstrating which we have obtained through RTIs and then seek directions on the 5th. Grateful.
Grateful.
Grateful to your lordship.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.